Get-ups, gimmicks, one-hit wonders that don't stick. Pretty boys, acting tough, boy bands, give it up. And if it looks good on TV, it'll look good on a CD. Shape it up, trim it down, who gives a damn about how it sounds? I don't think Waylon done it that way. And if he was here, he'd say, Hoss, neither did Hank. I ain't dogging what you're doing, but boys, come on, let's get real. He's still got a lot of food left to fill. You say you're the real deal, but you play what nobody feels. You sing about Johnny Cash, the man in black would've whipped your ass, and I don't think Waylon done it that way. And if he was here, he'd say, Hoss, neither did Hank. I ain't dogging what you're doing, but boys, come on, let's get real. He's still got a lot of food left to fill. Here we go. When you're laying in the bargain bin, well, I don't think Waylon done it that way. And if he was here, he'd say, Hoss, neither did Hank. I ain't dogging what you're doing, but then again, hell yes I am. I just don't give a damn, 'cause you still got a lot of food left to fill. I guess we all got a lot of food left to fill. That's right.
by the Barn Dominion Company and Resto Pros of the Midlands. Part of the Chief Sports Network. Go Gamecocks!
He'll be fire on the mountain.
Scores! Lays it in at the buzzer! That's a win! Ball is way out of here!
5 consecutive home runs for Carolina.
It is good! It's gone!
He's in. Touchdown. Williams with a throw to the plate.
He's going to score! It's a walk-off!
Touchdown, South Carolina.
All right, greetings and good morning. Welcome aboard and welcome home inside the Gamecocks, the morning show built by the Barndo Co. and presented by our friends at Resto Pros, who are there when you need them always, especially during the holidays. Resto Pros of the Midlands, Resto Pros Midlands, SC.com. You can build your dream home and spend next holiday season in it by heading to the barndoco.com, who also was the sponsor of the 9th annual Toys for Tots show Friday night with Patrick Davis and his Midnight Choir. Good to meet many of you while we were out there. And, of course, Game Day Nuts. It's a snack during the holiday season as well, not just for tailgating, but you can send a home kit to somebody who's far away. Maybe they don't get to enjoy those Southern-style boiled peanuts with no shells. GameDayNuts.net. That is Mike Morgan, fresh off the call of A&M and Texas on Friday night. And we are fresh off of Thanksgiving weekend where the Gamecocks fall for the 6th straight time at home to the Clemson Tigers. Obviously, the SEC is all out of whack, and we'll get to plenty of that coming up here in just a little bit with coaches all over the place. We've got a graphic to help simplify for you. So Phil will pop that on the screen in just a little while. Pat DiMarco will be here. I do want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas season as we are in the month of December now. Everything is with this show. Obviously, it's been tough for the last few months now that Carolina football is wrapped up, but hopefully many of you are getting into that holiday spirit and you're able to enjoy that with your family and with your friends. But Mike, good morning, my friend. More of the same this weekend. It kind of ended how it started, didn't it, Mike? You know, the defense gave you a chance to win. The offense scored 2 touchdowns, and and gave up a touchdown, I might add. Carolina wraps up the year at 4-8, and they've got a lot of work to do here in the coming weeks and months to get things back on track for 2026. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning. Good morning. Hope you had a good weekend in spite of Saturday. Were you at the game? I didn't even ask.
Oh, yeah,
I figured. Okay. That was a dumb question. I just want to make sure.
No, not a dumb question. Yeah, I'm always there. I know a few people.
I know a few people that diehard fans, and they just they sold their tickets and made a profit. So they didn't give them away for $10.
Yeah.
They said, you know what? This team has frustrated me all year long. I got a chance to be with my family and make a little money, and I'll watch it on TV and won't be nearly as angry.
Or cold.
I don't know what's that?
Or cold. It was cold.
Or cold, yeah. Yeah, it was chilly everywhere. No, I mean, you said it's more of the same. I think to the Dennis, remember Dennis Green, the old coach of the Vikings?
Yeah.
And he was upset after a loss, and he said,
Great.
they are who we thought they were.
Great
Who
line.
we thought. We let them off the hook. This team has been what we thought they've been, and simply firing an offensive coordinator didn't change that. It's a team with a lot of flaws. As I watched that game, I was remarkably unimpressed with Clemson.
Yeah.
I was reminded that Clemson has really fallen off the pedestal of being one of the best programs in college football. They're not even close. We talk so much about Lenore Sellers and his regression. I think Cade Klubnik has regressed to a point that I never would have imagined. He's just average. I mean, the interception's a great play by Kilgore. That's a touchdown if you just throw it properly. It's wildly underthrown, a simple throw that a veteran quarterback at that level should be able to make.
Yeah.
And he just lofts it 5 yards short. And he's not he's athletic, but he's not uber athletic. His arm is good, but not great. He still makes mistakes that he made 3 years ago. Like, I was wildly unimpressed with him again and wildly unimpressed with Clemson. And then I'm looking at it, I'm saying, but they're still better than Carolina at this point because Carolina's offense is woeful. It has been. There's a number of directions you can go with that. The stuff I've said for the last 2 years, I stand by it. And the offense wasn't great last year. Look at it statistically, and I have plenty of numbers to back it up. It regressed this year. There's no question about it. But really, Gamecock fans haven't been treated to great offensive football in a while, and it's unfortunate. As I look at it on a bigger picture, yesterday was unbelievable chaos. That was the word of the day. Because Lane finally makes his decision. Marty Smith, you can go home now.
Marty
finally makes this, and I'll tell you how this is going to come back to Carolina in a second. Okay. Lane makes his decision to go to LSU, which I was told by someone 3 weeks ago, a very in the know person who works for an SEC school that is not South Carolina as an administrative role. And I've been hearing so much BS from Ole Miss fans, LSU fans, and Florida fans that all think they know somebody in the know, and we're all telling me, Mike, you can go ahead, talk about it. They know about JC and Morgan. They like, it's a done deal, and most of it was bullshit. Pardon my language.
usually is.
It usually is. So I didn't go with any of it. But this guy said he had it from the assistant coaches. It's going. He's going to LSU. I think the only thing Lane was trying to stretch that out. He wanted to coach in an SEC championship game, and who was going to deny him if he didn't say he was going to LSU? He kept it. He waited till Alabama Auburn was complete. Then he knew he was not going to be in Atlanta. Then he could say. So that's what he was doing. He knew for a while he was going to LSU, and so did Charlie Weiss Jr. and so on and so forth. But so what happened? That causes a domino effect. So Auburn has been dying to get Sumrall. Then now Florida they're in scramble mode. They say we're the better job. They get Sumrall. Now Auburn is scrambling. They get Golish, right? Mm-hmm. Arkansas gets Silverfield and kind of a underwhelming hire, and then Kentucky, they found the $37 million between the seat cushions. It looks like. I'm told they're likely going to hire Will Stein, Oregon offensive coordinator. So why do I bring all that up? Just in spite of the fact it's massive news, it's a Gamecock show, and we're going to talk Carolina Clemson ad nauseum, and it will unfortunately make some people nauseous. Because with the exception of Arkansas, which I saw them in person against Notre Dame, that might be the worst SEC defense I've ever seen. All these schools have struggled mightily on what side of the ball, Jamie? Kentucky, Florida, LSU, Auburn.
Yeah, offense.
Okay. Offense was down this year in college football. It was significantly down in the SEC.
Yeah.
And so Kentucky couldn't wait to get rid of Mark Stoops, not because there's no defense, but because the offense, with the exception of 1 year of Liam Cohen, who's now with the Jaguars, the offense was atrocious. I can't tell you how many times I'm at a family gathering with my in-laws. It's the most boring offense I've ever seen. We're so over it. Get rid of him. This was the last 3-4 years. They finally got their wish. Auburn. Didn't matter who was the offensive coordinator. They just could not get the offense off the ground under Hugh Freeze. Florida, Billy Napier was too stubborn and insisted on running the offense. The offense could never get off the ground. And then this year with Garrett Nussmeier, a potential first-round pick, albeit injured for much of the year, the LSU offense was atrocious. They all want to fix the offense. The biggest question right now in Gainesville is, yeah, Summerall, that's great. Who's the OC? You better get a damn good OC. We don't want Will Muschamp 2.0. The reason why Lane was so valuable, you don't have to worry about who the OC is because in essence, it's him. I mean, that's his offense. So now to go to South Carolina. You haven't seen good offense in a while. You didn't see it last year. The defense covered up a lot of that in a 9-win season. The defense was not elite this year. It was good, not great. And so you had to win games on offense, and you had chances. You had Alabama. You had Clemson. You had chances to win more games if the offense came through in the clutch. It did not. So now the most important hire of the Shane Beamer era becomes the offensive coordinator, and I've already heard names, and you've heard names, and you brought up the big name a couple weeks ago, Jamie. Something tells me you and I have been talking to a lot of the same people. Everybody is trying to find a way, and this is what made Lane the most leveraged coach. He had so much leverage to where he kind of made a mockery of the whole system. Everybody is desperate to find more offense, particularly in the SEC. And so all these programs are trying to find the right guy. And whenever they hire their OCs, they're all going to have a great press conference, and they're going to have shows like these. Oh, it's a slam dunk hire. Oh, this is a brilliant hire. This guy's going to fix it. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I mean, how many OCs have come through these cities? Columbia, Gainesville, Auburn, Lexington, Kentucky. They've all hired a ton of OCs with great resumes, and none of them worked.
Right.
This is the challenge that faces South Carolina going forward, to find the guy that does work, because you just can't win anymore based solely on great defense, a running game, winning the turnover battle. You know, Carolina got away with that last year because the defense was freaking elite. It was one of the best in the country, one of the best, maybe the best ever at South Carolina history, Jamie. I mean, I think you could make a strong argument that it was. But they need to find somebody to do that. And then we can start talking about personnel later in this conversation, because there's a lot to be. I think it's going to be one of the most fascinating off seasons in Carolina history. I really do. But something clearly needs to get better if you're going to get out of the doldrums of the SEC.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I mean, and I think too, when it comes to this, whoever they hire here, this offensive coordinator, and again, there's the conversation that's about to be had, or that is being had with the offensive coordinator, and that's about to evolve a little bit more because of the chaos that's going on in the SEC, Mike, is going to be the same conversation that you would have if you were swapping out head coaches like all these guys just did. Everybody's going to want the really good ones, so you gotta, you have to really like this. I think that one of the parts of the job that we get to do every day is we get to prepare, and we get to think through this stuff to actually be able to have a conversation about it, as opposed to just firing off a tweet or something like that. That's just a hot shot in the moment type of deal. Like when this isn't about me or you, but just to give the example, like if we're preparing for a show of something we want to talk about, generally we're going to reach out to some folks and try to get a little bit of input or background on some of it, especially if it's something that's a big deal like this. And so what I'm getting at here is, you got to think through how this sucker could play out in South Carolina. One side of it is, we all, I think by now, maybe if I asked the average person to rattle off the top 5 offensive coordinators that you would want, maybe they could do it, maybe they couldn't, but they could maybe rattle off a couple, right? I know the guy at Old Dominion certainly is high up there, John David Baker at East Carolina, and so on and so forth, Mike. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, K. Bell, right. I got it. We got it, right? These are very popular names. They're on every message board or whatever the case is. But it doesn't mean that they're not also popular in some of these other spots where there are new coaches. And so if you are South Carolina and you want one of these guys, then you are having to fight in a lot of cases new administrations and new coaching staffs who are on also new deals, 4, 5, 6, 7-year deals, where it seems like, well, that's a brand new situation. That's a much stabler situation for me. If I want to move into the SEC and I got my pick of the litter, is South Carolina where I want to go? Or do I want to go to Florida, where they got a new head coach who's probably going to have a little bit more grace than what Shane Beamer's having right now in Columbia, South Carolina? So those guys are going to have a decision to make. And on the flip side, if you're Coach Beamer, at the end of the day, I heard Chris Doering this morning, your buddy Chris Doering, who I think is generally pretty well thought out with a lot of his comments. And Chris Dory made just an awesome point, and I know we've tried to make it around here in other instances, but he said, look, everybody wants to they all want to like win the press conference, right? Like it's, well, let's win right now. Let's win this thing right now. Make everybody feel good about it and the whole 9 yards. And then when you get to the season, if it doesn't go the way that it went when you won the press conference, it goes back to the same old narrative. Oh, well, we hired another guy that's just the same thing. Get rid of him, whatever the case is. It's a circle. It's the circle of football life. So if you're Shane Beamer, who gives a crap about the press conference? And like, I'm saying this very gracefully to all of the people that watch us. Like, this is nothing personal to anybody out there. It's not personal just as much as it's not personal to me. Who gives a damn if I like it? Who cares if any of y'all like it? Shane Beamer hopefully knows exactly what he's looking for, and that's what he needs to go find. And it might not be the popular name. And my gut tells me right now, it actually probably won't be. Mike, if I had to flip a coin and say, are you going to get one of those popular names everybody knows about right now? Or are you going to get somebody that maybe people aren't as up to speed on, or maybe they don't know about? I would actually, at this point in time, lean more. He's probably going to end up hiring somebody that's not a very sexy pick to the common eye at this point as it stands today. Now, he could. I'm not saying he won't, but I'm just saying with everything that's going on, those odds start to go against you a little bit, right? And so, at the end of the day, like, hopefully he knows this is exactly what I want. And if it's not in that pick of the litter category, there maybe is another guy out there who is still that same style, and then he can go get him. And, so we'll see where it all goes. I mean, you hit the nail on the head with the offense. I don't know if you know this or not, but Carolina scored 35 points this year in the fourth quarter, Mike. And did you know that 21 of those points came against Virginia Tech and Coastal Carolina?
Say that again?
Yeah. They scored 35 points in 12 games in the fourth quarter this year. South Carolina did. Okay.
And not all of those are offensive, right?
I didn't go that deep into it.
Is there a block kick or pick six or a fumble return for a touchdown in there? I mean, I was going to go back to my 17 number, which dates back to the Clemson game a year ago, where Carolina's offense just struggles to score more than 17 points, which is just beyond, and that spans like 3 different offensive coordinators. I know many would like to just say it's as simple as getting rid of Mike Shula. It's more than that, folks. It is.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously. And obviously, too, when he was gone.
Well, not obviously. Some people think that that's everything that's gone wrong with the offense was Mike Shula. And I am not here to defend Mike Shula at all. It's a bad hire. Didn't work. As I said on the show, it was unavoidable to not fire him in the middle of the season. But it's more than just that. He's been gone for a month. The offense still has a lot of issues.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They're trying if we just roll Norris out. No, they tried that. Guess what? Defensives know that.
Well,
if you watch the way they're playing,
look at him this
they
weekend.
kind of figured that out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we just roll him, he doesn't want to run between the tackles apparently. So what do? And some of the same things still show up, regardless of OC.
Well, and what's crazy is, so you're talking about, again, there's a lot of problems here. Like, you go back to last year. Okay, let's just focus on the fourth quarter. So I want to finish this point. You go back to last year. South Carolina scored their most points of the 4 quarters in the fourth quarter. They scored 125 points in the fourth quarter last year. Now, some of those, yes, as you pointed out, you could lean on the defense for some of that stuff, or they would put you in good spots to be able to score, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But this year they scored 35, and they scored points in the fourth quarter of 4 of their 12 games, and those 4 games are Virginia Tech, where they scored 2 touchdowns. They did score 7 against Alabama, for what that's worth.
Yeah.
7 against Coastal, and 7 against Kentucky. Okay. So when Shane Beamer's like, man, we aren't finishing games, like it's not as easy as getting on your PlayStation and going, well, I just need to dial up some better plays. Like there's a lot that goes into that magic potion. And, I mean, you talk about the offensive line who absolutely got better under Sean Elliott, but they need to be way better, so they're going to need massive help in the portal in the offseason. You talk about the quarterback. I mean, Lenoris turned the ball over 4 times against Clemson on Saturday, Mike. He fumbled twice and he threw 2 picks, and neither one were good, but the one that he threw in the end zone was awful. I mean, and so is that all just on him, or are they running bad routes? I don't have any of those answers, but I'm just saying to you in agreement, the offensive coordinator I would put at the top of the list as to why this thing sucked from day one. But that doesn't mean that it's not a lengthy list of things that need to be fixed. And so this is going to be I'm trying. I mean, certainly in the last since Steve Spurrier left, there's no doubt this is the biggest offseason conversation I've seen around Gamecock football, but I would go back way further than that. I mean, this is bigger than Will Muschamp. Like, Will's just time to go. You're keeping your head coach, which I think is fine, but you're keeping your head coach under the assumption that he is going to get it fixed in one off season, and TBD on all that.
Yeah. What was that fourth quarter stat again? I did not know.
35 points in 12 games,
and 21 came against Vatech.
14 came against Vatech.
I'm sorry, 14. So, in the final 11 games,
21 points,
which included South Carolina State and an awful Coastal Carolina team. 21 points in the fourth quarter of 11 games.
Right, and as Phil just pointed out, of course, 7 of those in the Vatech game were Vakari Swain's magical touchdown.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, that they weren't all offensive. Yeah, I mean, you scored 14 points against a not very good defense. A not very good defense. And 7 of those came on a ball thrown into double coverage where the Clemson DB, I don't know what he was doing. He looked like he was running out of bounds. And Jacobs makes a hell of a play and makes a house call. That's half your points. You take that away, you got 7 against a mediocre Clemson team and defense. Which, correct me if how many did Duke score against Clemson?
46.
Okay.
46-45 was the final of that game, I think.
All right. So this just in, that ain't all play calling, folks. It's just not. It's just not. Bad. I'm almost glad that the Shula fire. I mean, I think it had to be made, but what it shows is I think Furry did a fine job. They clearly, they did everything people wanted to do. They spread it out more. They had Lenoris running on to the perimeter more. All those things that everybody, it still stunk.
Yeah.
Still. Well, you're going to say they had PTSD from Mike Shula? Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Don't believe your lying eyes. Like it's just not good. It's just not good. And it's not as simple as, okay, well, the new OC, Lenoris Sellers has to get better. He regressed. He has to get better. That's it to me. If he's back, and again, I've said this many times. I've talked to a lot of scouts because every game I've been to this year has had top-ranked teams, scouts all over the place. There are still some people that say, yeah, he could go in the first round. The rest say, no.
Yeah.
Not a chance. But, as I always say, it only takes one. Some of the fans I talk to are like, go ahead and go. Like, we're ready for the next iteration of Gamecock quarterback play. It's going to be a fascinating offseason on a number of levels. I don't get into the psychology of players. I know a lot of people were beyond pissed about the reaction after the pick 6. TV was not the friend of Lenoris Sellers after that play.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see it. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it since? I mean, it's all over.
No, I haven't. I have.
Yeah.
Man, I spent Saturday night and Sunday with my children. I was like,
I know.
I'm out till Monday.
Well,
but
to use a baseball term, you probably tried to flush it. But unfortunately, we're gonna have the next 7 months to talk
Yeah,
about
I did.
it.
What happened? I didn't see. I really didn't see it.
He got caught kind of just chuckling on the sideline right after the pick six that ended the game.
Oh god.
So
Yeah, that's not good.
yeah, I mean, a lot of people caught that. Look, I haven't said a negative word about the person that is Lenore Sellers. So I don't know what the thinking process is there. I don't even care. I just focus on the play and what my eyes have told me and what I've seen. And if he's back, no matter who the OC is, he has to be better. He has to sense the pass rush better. He has to see the field better. He has to be more accurate on short throws. Those are pretty deep ball, really does.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're Clemson, how do you let Nick Harbor again get deeper than the deepest? He's the track guy. He runs like 3 routes.
I don't know.
It's just like
Well, I think you mentioned the NFL. Like that's part of the thing with Nick Hart. I just don't know if anybody can actually cover the guy. You know what I mean? Like the NFL.
I'm telling you, I get it. Like, trust me, the receiving position. That's next to quarterback's my favorite one on the field, and I understand that the question will be, can he separate? Can he? But somebody is going to look at Nick Harbor and that body and that speed and say, yeah. At bare minimum, you get potentially an elite return guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if Nick Harbor comes back because he's going to get a chance to be at least a day 2 pick, bare minimum.
Yeah,
there's just things he has you can't teach.
Right. Yeah.
So is he ever going to be an elite route runner? But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind having him on my if I'm writing up plays and I got Nick Harbor, I'm okay. But that being said, Jamie, I mean, look, here's the good news. I'm going to give you one positive before we go to break. It can be turned around really quickly in the
100%.
day and age of the portal,
Yeah.
and the day and age of the climate of college football. It used to be you put up a 4-8. And you got to make a coordinator change, and it'd be like, oh crap, I don't have another 3-year rebuild in me. My heart can't take it. Just as quickly as it went from 5-7 to 9-4, it could go from 4-8 to 8-4. I mean, this is not being Pollyannish. It can turn around that quickly. Some things have to happen. There's no doubt about it. But obviously, it starts on the offensive side of the ball, and a number of things have to get better. And it's not just whoever this OC pick is going to be. You know how this is going to go, Jamie. Press release is going to come out. He's going to go in front of a microphone. He's going to say all the right things. Everybody's going to applaud. And people are going to come on this show and say, oh, this is brilliant hire, and this is the guy that's going to turn it all around. We don't know. Do you think all these other SEC programs didn't think the same thing when they hired their 4th OC in 7 years? You don't know.
I couldn't agree more with that. We're so past the point in college athletics of I feel bad for the media people that rely on this stuff. We don't rely on it. I mean, it's part of like what we talk about in the summer and things like that. But there are people who will rely on this to like make money, like Phil Steele. It is the most invaluable information. And all it is information now. Like when it comes to predictions and projections and stuff, and in all of college athletics, all of it, it's all gibberish. None of it matters. Like none of it matters. You think you know, and you don't know crap. You just don't. Those guys don't know. How are we supposed to know?
No. It's funny because Phil, who we had on, was heavily criticized because he wasn't higher on Carolina. But a lot of people were, to your point. I mean, a lot of people took the baton and said, look out, world. And look, I'll just say this. There's talent on that team. This is not – I've covered Gamecock teams that just simply had – I'm going to clean it up. They were not real good personnel-wise, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The strength of Shane has been – the recruiting has been consistently good. The portal acquisitions – everybody has hits and misses, but they've had some good portal hits. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, last year was massive. But this year, that's not a 4-8 roster. I've seen 4-8 that's not a 4-8 roster.
Yeah.
So that's the most troubling thing is that you sit there and you're like, gosh, damn, how in the world did this team lose 8 games? One more time, the fourth quarter offensive stat, Jamie.
Yeah, bad. 35 points
in 12 games.
in 12 games and 21
And
in 11, or the final 11.
and 21 in the final 11 games, including SC State and Coastal. That is just,
I mean,
it's almost unspeakable.
yeah, and I don't even like. It's a catch-22. What I'm about to say, I'll give a little grace because it was Coastal and they obviously had their foot off the gas. I get it, but beyond that, who cares about that? The point is, in every other game that they played, I mean, rattle them off: LSU, Missouri, Oklahoma, A&M, as we know, so on and so forth. They didn't score any points, like zero.
Yeah,
Literally didn't score a point.
If you got so much as a field goal in the second half against A&M, you pull off the massive upset.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about A&M. Yeah, A&M, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, LSU, Missouri, Vanderbilt. They didn't score 1 point in the fourth quarter of any of those games.
No,
I don't know if I've ever even seen a stat like that. I'm not sure I have.
Only scored 7 in the entire game against Vandy. And Pavia went there, and Diego Pavia is going to be on a lot of Heisman ballots.
Well, he should be.
Yep.
I think it's a travesty what's going on with Vanderbilt right now, Mike. I just
that they're not going to get in.
Yeah, I mean this guy, what he has done. They're 10-2, like
10-2,
dude, and it's like people are so dismissive of them. I'm just baffled at it. I mean, who's look, I know that they're not undefeated like, A&M was, but I mean, who's got a better SEC resume when you look at who they actually played this year? I just.
Well, somebody posed the question to me on another show this morning, and I didn't have a good answer. Like, why is Oklahoma ahead of Vandy if they're both 10-2? They didn't play one another, so there's no head-to-head. So what's the trump card for they both lost to Texas. What's the trump card for Oklahoma over Vanderbilt?
I guess their win against Alabama. I mean, they went to Alabama.
Well, no, that was Oklahoma. Oh, you're talking about Oklahoma. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was thinking Vandy. Yeah, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma went to Alabama and won.
They went to Tuscaloosa and won. I don't know. This is where if you had 16, Vanderbilt and Texas would be locks to get in, but you don't have 16. You have 12.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. It'll be and like, do you know who the OC of Vanderbilt is? I'm not just asking you. I'm asking the group. I'm guessing most people off the top of their head that don't do this for a living couldn't tell you who the Vandy OC is, could care less. I mean, we talk about Jerry Keel all the time, but he's not the OC. It's a guy named Tim Beck, okay? Came from New Mexico State. So is it Tim Beck is just this mastermind offensive coordinator? Watch what Vanderbilt does. It's not brilliant play calling. When Diego Pavia is done after this year, show me how smart Tim Beck looks calling plays. A great quarterback can make an OC look pretty damn good too. Like it's a vice versa. OC helps a quarterback helps an OC. A lot easier to dial up plays when you've got a dog like Diego Pavia. And that kid, I don't care. I've made the joke before. He looks like he's on the bowling team. He does not look like an SEC quarterback or an SEC athlete. But you know what? I'll go to war with that kid 10 times out of 10.
Well, I know we got to get a break, but will you, after turning your vote in, be willing to share who you voted for the Heisman
Absolutely.
Trophy?
Absolutely. At the beginning of the year, I thought maybe I could come here on the Monday after SEC championship game and say, hey, there's Lenore Sellers. That obviously is not happening. But Diego Pavia, I can promise you, unless something incredible happens this Saturday, he will be on the ballot. I don't know if he's going to be 1, 2, or 3. It's going to be a very hard vote this year. Fernando Mendoza has the biggest Heisman moment that came against Oregon, and they're undefeated. I want to see how he does against Ohio State. If he balls against Ohio State, I can save you the suspense. He will win the award.
Mm-hmm.
He'll win it. But if he doesn't and he struggles, Now it's up for grabs. That's what makes it kind of exciting. I'll tell you something else exciting. As we go to break, the interest rates are actually down. You can actually save money. You can actually go sub 6. Who doesn't want to go sub 6? Jamie, you want to go sub 6?
We're waiting on that if we have to move.
Okay.
But now you got a shot at it.
Yeah, now you got a shot at it. So call Troy Branham. You can go sub 6. It's happened recently, and if you've gotten a mortgage in the last year or two, chances are you can go lower and save yourself a lot of money. They're locking people in under those numbers, and they've got every type of mortgage under the sun. Troy Branham, lifelong Gamecock fan. Golden Gate Mortgage, lifelong South Carolina company. No matter where you are in the state, 803-238-0111. Put it on the fridge. Your wife will not be the least bit suspicious. 803-238-0111. That's Troy Branham of Golden Gate Mortgage.
We obviously have plenty more to talk about with South Carolina. Pat DiMarco will join that conversation in a little bit, but we'll come back and we'll shift this a little bit into the SEC. It all intertwines with what's going on here in Columbia, South Carolina, so we'll expand it when we return, powered by our friends this holiday season at Electric Bikes of Charleston.
Hey Gamecock fans, happy holidays from all of us here at the Barn Dominium Company. Many of you will be spending your holidays in one of our beautifully built Barn Dominium homes. Thank you for letting us make your dreams come true. We hope you find peace, joy, and love during the most wonderful time of the year.
This is a breaking news event. We now have boiled peanuts without the shells.
Sorry, Alex. Did you say boiled peanuts without the shells?
Yes, boiled peanuts. No shells. Go to GameDayNuts.net and order them for game day.
Morning, Carl. Usual?
Yeah.
Your oldest was in here the other day. Said the two of you took a trip down to my neck of the woods. How'd that go?
You might as well give me one of those Carolina cards while you're at it.
I knew I liked that one.
Yeah.
There you go, my friend.
Thanks.
Hey, Carl. Congratulations.
See you tomorrow, ready?
You bet.
At Moultrie Insurance, our agents are working for you. Our commercial lines of coverage are well-sourced and intimately chosen. We offer commercial lines of coverage such as business owners, umbrella, property, auto, or general liability coverage, and evaluate every option to find what fits you best. Like a good offensive coordinator, we will draw up the plays, but only run with what you feel comfortable. Get in touch with our quarterback, Perry Orth, or our head coach, Frank, by visiting MoultrieINS.com. MoultrieINS.com. Moultrie Insurance, proud supporters of the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Nana's Porch presents a Southern staple, delivered right to your doorstep. Nana's Porch locally crafted pimento cheese has been a hit for years at weddings, tailgates, and other events. Now you can order online and have it sent to your home. Visit nanasporch.com. That's nanasporch.com and click the pimento cheese tab to choose between their original pimento cheese and their jalapeno smoked pimento cheese set. nanasporch.com. Man, that's good.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from the Chief Sports Network.
It is 10:42. Welcome back inside the Gamecocks, the morning show brought to you by our buddies over at Gamecock Traditions. GamecockTraditions.com .com, a great place to shop this holiday season, and they will send it right to your home, to your doorstep, and you can wrap it up, put it underneath the tree. A lot of great sales there in the last couple of weeks. So if you're going to buy something Gamecock gear related, Gamecock Traditions in Lexington, GamecockTraditions.com. A chaotic weekend, or Sunday, if you will, in the SEC. And there are just 10,000 ways to talk about all this. So Phil, pop this graphic up here. Around this time yesterday morning, that's 24 hours ago. And then you got the bottom line. So about 24 hours ago, we didn't know who the head coaches were of these teams, except for one. Lane Kiffin was still in there. And then within 24 hours, all the dominoes fell. And then, of course, we get the news last night that Mark is going to be out at Kentucky. Real quick here, Mike. Curious timing on the Mark Stoops firing. What'd you make of that?
Well, you got completely pantsed by your in-state rival, Louisville. Louisville's a good team. They upset Miami, but there's no excuse to lose that badly. Kentucky, the last couple weeks, the game against Vanderbilt, they got throttled. They looked like a team that just quit on their coach. On top of that, again, the fans have wanted Mark Stoops out for years. Yeah. I have this conversation every time I'm with my in-laws. They checked out on Mark Stoops in like 2022. Okay. The question was, could they find $37 million? I mean, LSU is basically saying, we have blank you money. We're firing our coach, spending an exorbitant buyout, giving Lane Kiffin $25 million to play with on payroll, because we buy players now. We don't do NIL. We buy players. And we're going to pay, and we're going to make Lane, basically, when you include incentives and bonuses, he'll be the highest paid coach in college football, ahead of Kirby Smart, who's won 2 national titles and multiple SEC titles. Lane has done nothing of the sort. But LSU, that's not the real world. The real world is most of these schools do have to consider money, and $37 million. So what, to answer your question in a shorter way, Brian, Jamie, I don't know who Brian is. I saw Brian Kelly there on the screen, I guess. Great graphic, by the way, Phil. They were the way the contract was written was they had to pay the $37 million within 60 days.
Right.
That's hard to do. Like Muschamp's buyout at Carolina was spread out over I don't know how many months, not 60 days. Most schools, unless you're Texas A&M and you say, here, Jimbo, here's $75 million to get the hell out of Dodge. Okay. Most schools have to spread it out to make sure the check doesn't bounce. Mm-hmm. Mark Stoops agreed to spread it out because Mark knows nobody wants you there. It's not working. Let's not pretend that this is beyond like a couple that's broken up. They're getting a divorce and the husband's sleeping on the couch. The wife has already thrown away the couch. You're sleeping on the floor, and it's a really cold floor. It's like that linoleum, no carpet, no rug. So Mark saw the writing on the wall and said, you know what? If I could just spread $37 million out, I think I'll be okay. $37 million, if I, compound it, you just do that per month over an X amount of month span. So that's how it finally got done. Then and it breaks their heart to see John Summerall not go. They've wanted John Summerall. Remember, this is the cat that led the team in tackles for Kentucky, the linebacker, back in 2004. That was not that long ago. That was, remember the Mike Rath game in Lexington. Rath, Williamson, touchdown. The leading tackler on that team was John Summerall. They have wanted him forever, the prodigal son. But John Summerall, as JC has pointed out a number of times, is actually from Alabama. So then Auburn was drooling to get John Summerall. And then Florida came in after they lost Lane and said, hold my beer. And John Summerall said, Auburn has been disastrous for a while. Florida's been disastrous for a while, but I see more potential with Florida. I'll take the Florida job. So that had Auburn scrambling. And then from what I was told by some pretty good sources, DJ Durkin was this close to getting the job. And then some people said, you know what? While DJ Durkin is a really good defensive coordinator and has done a fine job as the interim, and we just played Alabama down to the wire, we need an offensive guy. We can't continue to do this and have crappy offense. So what did they do? Who's the best offensive guy left on the board? They go to Alex Golish. And that's how that landed the way it did. And now, of course, Florida needs an OC desperately, right? Kentucky is likely going to hire Will Stein, an OC from Oregon, who I believe played at Louisville. Going to have to get over that real quick. And I don't know what, I mean, if it is Pete Golding at Ole Miss, they're desperately going to be looking for an offensive coordinator. They also lost Charlie Weiss Jr. So keep all this in mind as Carolina's trying to hire an OC. Right. There's a lot of teams out there looking for an OC.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition out there.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's the point I made earlier. Real quick though, on the, I mean, I'm just trying to figure this out here. John Summerall was hired yesterday morning in Gainesville. Why did Kentucky fire Stoops last night? If they were going to get rid of him, why didn't they get rid of him on Friday or Saturday?
Because I think they realized they weren't going to get Summerall anyway. The whole alma mater thing, you know, alma mater means different things to different people, right? This is a business. What job would you rather have, Jamie? Would you rather be the head coach at Florida or Kentucky? Would you rather be the head coach at Auburn or Kentucky? John Summerall, once Lane Kiffin made his decision, was the second most coveted guy on the board, right? Because Franklin had already agreed to Virginia Tech. So Summerall had all this leverage. He was not going to take the Kentucky job, even if they fired Stoops a month ago. It's a great question. But I truly believe John Summerall, while it's great, the alma mater, he had other options.
I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I actually agree with you. I don't think he would have ended up in Lexington, but if you're Kentucky, now you got another problem on your hands. You got a bunch of fans who think that you just dropped the ball. You just waited too long, and now you got a PR crisis.
There's no doubt. And you know what's funny about all this too? We talk a lot about athletic directors on this show. And by the way, if Jeremiah Donati is going to find out real quick how the wrath of the fan base, how this can be. I mean, a lot of people are already ripping him for not making a move, and that's going to continue. Like the whole 1 year grace period or whatever, that's done. Now fans are expecting the AD to make the moves that they want him to make, right? But you've got ADs here. Hunter Yurachek at Arkansas was once considered the crown jewel of SEC athletic directors. Like, you would hear people go on the SEC network, they would go on talk shows. Oh man, that Hunter Yurachek, man, he is brilliant. Well, let's take a closer look. Chad Morris, fail. Sam Pittman, fail. And they're not exactly doing cartwheels over Ryan Silverfield at Arkansas. Mitch Barnhart of Kentucky has been there a long, long time. People used to love Mitch Barnhart, the AD at Kentucky. Looks really good in a suit. Mitch Barnhart, they are ripping Kentucky because the way the Mark Stoops situation, to your point, Jamie, was handled. Oh, by the way, they thought they held on to Cal too long. And both buyouts were so exorbitant, it made it cost prohibitive to fire either one of them. Now, they got a break because Tyson's Chicken came in and said, well, I like Arkansas and I want them. Give us Cal. Well, that saved Kentucky a lot of money in a potential firing situation. But nobody was taking Mark Stoops off their hands. Mark Stoops' stock has plummeted, so they were going to have to find $37 million. And who knows, Jamie, there might have been somebody. There's some big boosters at Kentucky, too, who finally said, okay, here's $5 million, make it go away. That could have happened. But Barnhart was an AD that everybody loved. We talked about big game hunting over there at LSU, was once the AD at LSU. He got fired because he made 2 horrifically bad hires in Jimbo Fisher and Brian Kelly. And everybody thought that he was a brilliant athletic director. And now John Cohen at Auburn, I mean, he's going to feel some heat if Alex Golesh doesn't give immediate results. I don't know how many SEC fan bases are in love with their athletic director is my point. It's a tough job.
Well, 100%. On the Silverfield thing, by the way, they lost 3 straight games to end the regular season. They were 8-1, in case anybody forgot. I don't know why I actually look at him and I'm like, you know what? We're going to look up 3 years, and he might be the guy who's having the most relative success to the situation of all these guys. At the end of the day, I mean, he won 21 games the last 2 years at Memphis. The guy, he's not a bad football coach, but because he kind of left on a losing note up there, I think that put a little bit of a cap on some of that. But I look at all these hires, and they are all names that we've heard, obviously, Mike, and I'm not shocked at any of them, with the exception of Pete Golding. That did come out of left field to me, the fact that they decided, look, let's stabilize as much as we can and elevate and just promote. We'll see in the long run if that ends up paying off there. I don't know. But the Lane Kiffin thing, I mean, it's been talked to death, obviously, for the last 24 to 36 hours to the last 36 days, quite frankly. Here is my prediction on Lane Kiffin. You ready for this? I have no doubt that they will win. Lane Kiffin will win. I mean, he wins. They're going to win. How much do they win? And is at the LSU level, which means winning a national championship? That's TBD. But he will win plenty of games down there. It will end worse in Baton Rouge than it's ended here, than it ended at Southern Cal, or than it ended at Tennessee. Because those people down there, when they're done with you, they throw you to the wolves. And if Lane Kiffin doesn't like it, he will march around and pout and do whatever it takes, and he'll make it as uncomfortable as he can for anybody he wants to, and he'll ease on out and go in a different direction. Now, I don't know how this whole thing could have been handled differently, Mike. I think everybody was trying to do what they thought was best for their situation. I actually thought Lane said something yesterday that made a lot of sense to me, and the fact that the AD, Keith Carter, he has to live there. And that's his town. That's his hometown. That's where he's going to be. He's trying to do whatever it takes to protect his hometown and his school. And, you know, the way that he saw it was different from the way that Lane saw it, and whatever the case was. I just think it just got messy, and it's very unfortunate. I don't know that anybody was right or wrong, so I don't really have an opinion on it. But whenever it ends at LSU, it's going to be nasty, because it's never amicable generally down there when things don't end up going the way they wanted to go.
No, even when they fired one of their own, Ed Orgeron, I mean, Ed had one bad year, and they was like, time to go. Yo. And that was it.
Give me my money.
Yeah, give me my money. I'll never forget doing an LSU game and sitting in, and Ed knew it was his last year. He's like, I know they're going to fire me. He goes, guess what? I got $20-something million. I'm going to be just fine.
Yeah.
There's something to say about that. Let me ask you a question, because the Lane thing has been, everybody is using this as kind of an opportunity to sound off and the state of college football and everything else. And I've told you before, I think the biggest injustice we have is the calendar. The recruiting needs to be moved back to February. The portal needs to be in the spring. And until you change that, it's going to be real hard to avoid this entirely. And no, we don't need high school kids re-enroll. We don't need them on campus January 1. Nobody gives a crap about spring football anymore. You can get what you need to get done in the summer, but that's a whole other discussion. I want you to think hypothetically here for a second, because I take Lane at his word when he said this. If Keith Carter and Ole Miss would have allowed him, he would have coached Ole Miss in the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
And Ole Miss said, kick rocks.
Right.
And, of course, every fan is like, yeah, tell him. Screw you, Lane. If Lane Kiffin was the coach at South Carolina, they both won the same amount of national titles here in the last 65 years. If Lane Kiffin was coaching the Gamecocks and went 11-1, and had a chance to go to the college football playoff, but he already took the LSU job. And you're mad about it. You're butthurt about it. You all of a sudden, you ungrateful bastard, Lane Kiffin. We gave you this opportunity here in Columbia. Would you, Jamie Bradford, athletic director, savant, would you let him coach the Gamecocks in a potentially magical ride in the playoff? Or would you say, no, you took another job, get out of here?
I would 1,000% say you're going to stay on the sideline until the end of the season.
I like it. I did not see that coming. Okay.
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? Like you're going to what? Go out and try to win the thing. And then the next guy that we hire is left in a really, really good spot here.
Right.
You know, I mean, and what are we teaching the kids? I mean, we get mad, and I'm one of them, at all these kids for upping and quitting on their teams at the end of the year and not finishing bowl games and stuff like that. But the coach, it's okay. No, absolutely not. You're going to stick around and you're going to coach this thing until the very end, like what happens in the NFL. Everybody wants to be like the NFL. You're going to coach it till the end. These kids are going to stay here and they're going to play until the very end. And then we'll worry about next year after this year. But this year ain't over.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. I posed this 2 weeks ago on JC and Morgan, and I was like, are you going to cut off your nose to spite your face? But a lot of the Ole Miss fans, the same ones that were flipping him the bird at the airport last night, would say he's about to take our players. Like there's a good chance he takes the top 5 players off the Ole Miss roster and brings them to LSU.
Good. Then you know what you do? Then you pin his ass on that, and then you take a bunch of NCAA infractions with him down to Baton Rouge. I mean, like this isn't that complicated. People, I think you and I are in agreement on this. Like, so
I would have let him. Well, we are in agreement. But I also see the other side. Like,
I mean, I see it. But I don't agree with
Ole
it.
Miss. You're Ole Miss. You got a chance to let him finish the job. The players wanted him to stay. He wanted to be able to stay. I mean, just to coach the playoff. Is he leaving you at the altar at the end of the playoff run? Absolutely he is. And that's a bitter pill to swallow. Is he going to poach some of your players? He is. Is he going to take some of his assistants? He is. But, man, it's your one playoff. I don't know if Ole Miss is going to be back in a playoff in a long time. That would have been hard for me to just on pure principle say, no, you left us. You don't belong here anymore. We'll have the interim coach.
Dude, I would put my pride on the shelf in a heartbeat and say, nah, you're going to finish this out. We're paying you for the entire season, not to be gone.
Again, this was not Lane's idea. So
yeah, exactly.
Lane was going to do it. You're the AD, and you got some pissed off boosters that are like, screw him. He's not one of us anymore. They, I think, basically said, do not let him coach in the playoff. It's a very unique situation, but I'm just wondering, I mean, Ole Miss had a lot of winning tradition over the last 65 years, and you had a chance to make a run at the national title. It's a tough call.
It wouldn't be for me. I would let him. I'd let him coach. Now, if he doesn't win a national championship, and they get beat in the first round or something like that, and then it all falls apart, that's going to be a hindsight 2020 situation where everybody goes, "Oh, we should have just got rid of him before the game. His head wasn't in it. His heart wasn't in it." You know, so whatever decision you make, you got to live with it. I would have let him coach, though, because I don't think they're better with him there.
He can dial up plays.
Yeah.
He can absolutely, no matter what you think of Lane Kiffin, and I get all the criticism, dude can flat out dial up plays and scheme an offense. He is one of one. He is one of one in that category. And that's why he just walked away with everything you could possibly walk away with in terms of leverage.
No kidding. All right. Well, we got to go. We got another one-of-one.
We got another hour. We got Pat DiMarco standing by. He's going to raise the roof, much like they do at Midstate Roofing. Larry Leitner, Blake Leitner. Give him a call. 803-356-1919. MidstateRoofing.com. The #1 leader in roofing in the state of South Carolina for 30 years, Jamie Bradford. You were just a young tyke when the Leitners started Midstate Roofing.
It's true. Yeah, it was. Getting old, though. All right. DiMarco up next, hour 2 on the way.
Hey, this is Cornbread Cowboy, and you're listening to the show. We'll be right back.
Palm Casual Patio Furniture are proud supporters of our Gamecocks. We have been making and supplying the highest quality outdoor furniture you can find for almost 5 decades. If you use your outdoor space to watch the Gamecocks, make it the best it can be. Visit palmcasual.com or visit one of our 4 locations in South Carolina. Go Gamecocks!
The Aventon Adventure 2 takes the same basic design as the original Aventon Adventure, making it an adventure bike designed to take you places that typical roads just don't reach, allowing you to ride whatever terrain you want based on your whims of the day. Look at what you're getting. Hydraulic disc brakes, torque sensor for responsive pedal assist, great LED lighting, suspension, a beautifully welded frame with excellent build quality, included rear rack, included fenders. The list just keeps going on.
Visit electricbikescharleston.com for more.
It's football season. The Barn Dominium Company wants to help you build your dream home with your dream space to watch the games and entertain your friends and family. Make your dream a reality. Visit thebarndominiumco.com. That's thebarndominiumco.com for floor plans, photo galleries, locations, and to learn more about us.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing, and for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
Mike here for my good friend Troy Branham of Golden Gate Mortgage. Let's face it, it's been a rough go for mortgage rates the last couple of years. And now more than ever, you need someone on your side to get you the very best possible rate on a new mortgage or a refi. That's where Troy comes in. 27 years of experience working for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, renovation, rehabilitation loans, all doable with my man Troy Branham of Golden Gate Mortgage. And when I say doable, I mean the best possible rate that's out there. It's a phone call that can literally save you thousands of dollars. 803-238-0111. 803-238-0111. You can also check out the website ggmortgage.com.
Visit GameDayNuts.net and order yours today. Boiled peanuts, no shells. Official tailgate snack of ITG. You're tuned into Hour 2 of Inside the Gamecocks, the morning show. Presented by the Barn Dough Company and Resto Pros of the Midlands. Go Gamecocks!
With a little love and some tenderness, we'll walk upon the water, we'll rise above the mist. With a little peace and some harmony, we'll take the world together, we'll take them by the hand. 'Cause I got him for you.
I said get up and let me see you smile. We'll take a walk together, walk the road a while, 'cause I got a hand for you, I got a hand for you. I wanna run with you, won't you let me run with you? Hold my hand, want you to hold my hand. Hold my hand, I think that you a place where you can be anything you wanna be, because I wanna love you the best that I can.
All right, hour 2, presented by Palm Casual. PalmCasual.com, the best outdoor patio furniture that you can possibly find. 4 locations in South Carolina, 1 in Wilmington, North Carolina. They're all across the Sunshine State. They're in the Peach State, the fake Peach State. Head to PalmCasual.com. It is Gamecock owned and it is Gamecock operated. Pat will be in literally like 1 second, and we'll get into some plenty of Gamecock football with him, looking back and looking ahead briefly. And we'll have a kind of a deeper dive next week with Pat DiMarco and some others on the offseason. By then, I think we'll have, I don't know about answers, but there will be certainly more movement around the program, and some of this will be a little bit more clear, if you will.
I know Cade Bell's name has come up a few times, just to go back to the OC situation. I mentioned this on the show last week. I know someone who's very tight with Cade when asked about the South Carolina job, in so many words, basically said, well, last year would have been the year to hire me. He now supposedly is being courted by Florida State, Oregon, if they lose Will Stein, and some other programs. So, I mean, Cade Bell, for my money, would be an awfully strong candidate. But he certainly, there's some competition for his services if he's going to leave Pitt.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I as chaotic as it has been with the head coaching stuff in the last 24 plus hours, we're just scratching the surface of all the coaching movement, as you know, Mike. I mean, you do have, and by the way, I don't even know. And as soon as Pat gets in, we can cut this part of the conversation off, which I think there he is. I'll tell you what, I'll come back to that. I'll ask you another question here in just a minute.
In motion, Pat DiMarco.
There he is. The great Pat DiMarco. Hello, my friend. How are you? Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah, ate way too much. And yeah, kind of paying for it now. I'm trying to go on a little detox, eating, drinking, all the above.
That's the universal Thanksgiving answer and holiday answer. If you say, well, I didn't eat that much this holiday. Have you ever heard someone say that? Well, I didn't have that much to eat this holiday season. Nah, never happens that way.
What does a detox look like for Pat DiMarco? No beer? What are you cutting out?
Yeah, well, just December. I'm going to do, I got a little bit of a sweet tooth and it's not a good thing. So all December, no sweets in December. I mean, I don't really drink much anyways. So just more of a clean living. So exercise more, strictly water, some sparkling water when the occasion calls for.
Look, man, I know that you are a very disciplined human being when it comes to a lot of things, what you put in your body, finances, yada, yada, yada. There is no way you're getting through the month of December without eating sweet stuff. That's impossible.
I've done it before. I've done full months, a couple months of like no sweets, and honestly pays a dividend. But
man,
it is, yeah. I mean, 4 young kids. My wife bakes cookies once a week, and I'm like, it's really hard to that temptation.
I was about to say, if I get invited to the DiMarco holiday party this year, I think I'm going to politely decline. Because it sounds like the meal isn't going to be. I'm just kidding, Pat. I would be there in a heartbeat. You know that. All right. Pat, let's we've only got you for about 15 minutes or so maybe, so I want to get to it and through it with you as quickly as we can. Give us your day 2 response to Carolina's 28-14 loss at the hands of the Tigers on Saturday.
I was at the game. It was Clemson played a good football game. They kind of executed better than us, and they were able to run the ball. I mean, it was cold, it was windy. What it came down to is a team that was able to run the ball better won the game. We scored on 2 big shots, 2 big chunk plays. But other than that, we just weren't able to sustain drives and really just ground and pound. And Cade Klubnik played a pretty clean game. When he fumbled and picked up his fumble in reverse field and scored a touchdown, I was like, there's no freaking way. Yeah, just the ball, kind of all season, the ball didn't really bounce our way. And that was just kind of like a true summary of our season. We were in the game just like we have been in just about every single game, just weren't able to make the plays when we needed to most.
35 points this year scored in the fourth quarter in 12 games. 14 of those 35 were in game 1, which means they scored 3 total touchdowns in the final 11 games in the fourth quarter. What would you attribute that to?
I mean, I think a lot of it's discipline, right? I mean, this is a team that was very highly penalized early in the season. And then kind of as games progressed, just kind of, not that they gassed out and weren't able to play from a sustainability standpoint, but just let their foot off the pedal a little bit. And that is a bizarre stat. We only scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter of the last 11 games. Yeah, that kind of when you put it that way, that's a good reason why we ended up 4-8.
Well, does it get? I mean, Coach Beamer has mentioned multiple times, hey, look, we don't think that we're as far away as a lot of you think we are. When you hear a stat like that, how quickly can you get it turned around? I mean, they were in all those games. He's right. Yeah. He's not wrong about that. They were in all the games. They just couldn't score and couldn't win any of them.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that it's a talented team. We have playmakers on the field, offensively, defensively. I mean, we were one of the top forcing turnover. Did we force the most turnovers in the SEC this year? Most takeaways?
I haven't checked yet, but they were in the top 2 or 3. Yeah,
it's in the. I know Texas is up there too, but definitely up there, Pat. To your point.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to take the ball away from teams at the rate that we were able to, and not turn those into points, that's just, it kind of deflates the team, right? Defense makes a huge play and the offense stalls, and the defense is like, well crap. So really just taking those, if the ball didn't bounce our way that much this season, is when it does bounce our way, you really have to take full advantage. And if we weren't able to score defensively or on special teams in the fourth quarter, we weren't able to do that offensively. So that makes it hard.
Last year when Carolina won 9 games, a lot of what we had to say was that this team had the personality of their head football coach, Shane Beamer. They never quit. Yep. They just kept fighting and kept fighting. Well, they're 4-8 this year. How would you differentiate the two?
Well, I mean, last year we absolutely cleaned up in the portal, right? I mean, a lot of those guys were guys that had a lot of experience, played a lot of football, ended up being drafted pretty high in the NFL. Which that attributes that helps with probably 4 or 5 wins in and of itself. But I think a huge part is there were more leaders on that team, like TJ Sanders, Kyle Kennard, D Knight, Rocket Sanders. They were older guys that had been there, done that, had cut their teeth, and Kyle Kennard and those guys, they didn't win a bunch of games at Georgia Tech, but they won some. But we were able to learn how to be a pro, and we played a lot of young guys this year, which is good and bad, right? Got a lot of young guys that got some really good experience, and time under tension kind of ends up creating the better athlete. I was better my sophomore year because I played a decent amount as a freshman, and better as a junior because I played my sophomore year. So as long as you continue to stack seasons, stack days, and really continue to buy into the program and buy into the off season and buy into spring ball and buy into summer workouts. Like 4-8 is, it's not an acceptable conclusion to have in a season. And I know everybody in that building is sick to their stomach about it, but you can sit there and you can mope about it, or you could, make changes as you think you need to make changes. You can elevate the off-season program, elevate winter workouts, elevate spring ball, elevate summer workouts so that you don't have this taste in your mouth again. And honestly, you need to bring some difference makers in, whether that's portal guys, recruiting guys. But we have some really good football players. Like Dylan Stewart's one of the best edge rushers in college football. He'll be a first-round pick in the NFL whenever he decides to go. Lenore Sellers is an elite talent. If he can figure it all out, he's going to be a first-round pick of a quarterback. I wouldn't say either of those guys is an exceptional leader in that team and motivating guys and grabbing somebody by the face mask and telling them, hey, it's time to be accountable. It's time for us to knuckle up and make some big plays. Like, you need guys that are willing to not be the cool guy. You need guys that are willing to be the asshole to really push the movement forward. And I know like D Knight and Kyle Kennard, like Rocket Sanders, those guys were guys that did that. I'm not sure if we had those guys on this team this year.
How important is it to move quickly in getting an offensive coordinator in place?
Well, Wednesday is that high school National Signing Day?
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be probably good
for what it's worth. I think they're safe with all those guys right now, Pat. Just a heads up on that. I think they're in a good spot with all those guys.
All right. Well, I think the sooner you can do it, the better to wrap up guys that are on your roster currently that don't want to jump ship and jump in the portal, and then also start the portal recruiting. I think that's going to be is going to be instrumental in our success next year, is being able to get some vetted guys that have been there, done that, kind of have earned their stripes and can help kind of turn the program around. Not that it's in a terrible place. It's one bad season, but you do need some dogs to come in and we have a lot of young talent, but that young talented group needs guidance, needs to learn how to be a pro. I talk about this with Josh Allen a lot, but Josh Allen made his huge turnaround when Derek Anderson, who was a 16-year vet, played at Oregon State, played Carolina, played everywhere. But when Derek Anderson came and mentored him for a year, that's when Josh made his huge strides. And that's by having a guy who had earned his respect and all that stuff that came in that was really able to get home to Josh. So we need to really hit home in the portal to, I think, help develop this young talent of a roster that we have.
What is an offensive system that you think fits best in Columbia, South Carolina?
I think I think we saw a little bit of the success these last couple of games, spreading the field, attacking the perimeter, taking shots. Obviously, we abandoned the run pretty quick against Clemson. We only had 14 rushes or 8 rushes, or it was a number that tells you you're going to lose a football game if you only run the ball that many times. But I think it's a mix of, games are won in the trenches, up front, offensive line or defensive line. That's where you're going to win your games. But if you're able to be efficient there in between the tackles, but then also attack the perimeter with RPOs and with screen games, and then when you have a Nick Harbor type guy that you can just throw the ball over everybody's heads, like, it makes you multi-dimensional and just puts a defense kind of in flux. Like, what do? Do I stack the box? Do I widen my corners out? My linebackers playing soft? So just making a team really defend the entire field, which we did the last few games, but it was, day late, dollar short.
Yeah, you mentioned Nick. Mike and I were talking about Nick just a little while ago. When he gets downfield, he's virtually uncoverable, Pat, as you know. What type of prospect does that make him in the minds of NFL GMs and owners and scouts?
His ball skills are getting there. Obviously his ball skills struggled the first 2 years, but his ball skills are getting there to a standpoint. But I think there's still going to be you look at a Megatron guy like him, but Megatron could catch a bubble screen, make two guys miss, and go score. Which you haven't really seen Nick be crazy elusive. You've seen the straight line, and you've seen the take the top off type plays, but I think you still need to see more. He still needs more development from a route running standpoint, being able to separate on the short intermediate routes instead of just catching a deep ball or catching a spot route and then just turning and taking off.
Yeah. All right. We'll get you out of here. But, this isn't really a question for the fans because everybody's very frustrated right now. So they don't want to hear things like this. But I'm just curious, with what you would be willing to say, if you were to sit down with Shane, who Shane, but yep. I know you're not going to be sitting down with him very soon. He's quite busy right now. But if you were to sit down with Shane and try to find a way to turn everything that just happened from the negative that it is into a positive in order to get this program back to where it was just a year ago.
Yeah.
What would some things be that you would bring up in that conversation?
I think a lot of it will I agree with him that we're not that far off. Like you were in almost every single game that you lost. Of the 8 games that we lost, we were in it in the fourth quarter in 7 of them. So I think it is like we need to get that desire, that grit, that tenacity. Like I think that's winter workouts, that's spring ball, that's summer workouts. I think that's the edge that you really need to tackle. And then obviously those having leaders in the locker room that are willing to push the young guys and make the young guys elevate is going to be the difference maker. So I think it's like the culture is there. Obviously the recruiting is there. The talent for the most part is there. So it's more just about really taking a deep dive into how can we become the toughest, most bulletproof team we possibly can over the next 8-9 months that's going to put us in 2026 in a situation that going in a season, we are extremely, extremely confident that we can go contend for, an SEC championship game, a chance to get kind of in the college football playoff. So I think we were so close last year. That's kind of the standard. So winning 6 or 7 games, I don't think is what I think we would have taken that this year, given that we won 4 and 8, but I don't think it's what Carolina fans are looking for. With NIL and the stadium renovations and all these different things that are going on. And, I would imagine price of tickets and everything is going to go up. So I think the standard is going to continue to elevate. And I think that's something that needs to be done. You got to win more football games. And I think you do that by making this offseason like a living hell for the players and making it as hard as they possibly can. That way, come season next year, that there's no doubt in your mind that you've done everything possible to get yourself ready for 26.
They'll be having, I don't know about exit meetings, but end of year meetings all week long. We'll see what comes from that. How many guys end up
recruiting meetings, recruit our own guys and find more money and all that stuff, whatever that world is like nowadays.
Oh my God, man. That is the last thing I'd want to be doing right now. Literally.
I mean, I would have negotiated a little bit. I would have asked for $49 instead of $43 for my weekend money. I think I probably would have gotten $6 extra a weekend, $24 a month. I think I probably would have won that negotiation.
Well, back then they'd get you a meal. I'd get you a whole extra one more meal.
I know.
Now, these guys go eat at Halls every week. That didn't get you a steak. So
yeah, now you got to make $200,000 plus to even want to play football. It's weird.
It's crazy, man. We'll let you get back to work, brother, but great to see you, and we'll get you scheduled sometime next week. We'll talk a little bit deeper about this. We'll have some more information by then as far as who's coming back and things like that too, maybe some coaching news. So we'll look forward to doing that, but happy holiday season, my friend.
Likewise. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Pat. And Mike, I know you didn't get to squeeze any questions in there.
But no, it was good. I was just taking it all in. I know we didn't do any highlights.
No, well, I was working on that this morning, and then I had a screen glitch here, and I said, "Well, I don't have the time to go back and redo this." So
no, and I think the one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I bet we're on the same page because he's saying the same thing that I've heard. I mean, The conversations that we have in front of this camera ain't the only conversations that are had. I can assure you of that. And 9 out of every 10 have to do with leadership every time.
And performance, and sometimes the two go hand in hand. But he said something very interesting, and I was going back and looking at the games. Like almost every conference game, you were in it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Right?
Every one. Really? I mean, Vanderbilt even wasn't. It's not like they were getting.
It wasn't
out.
over. I mean, it wasn't great. Oklahoma, I don't know. I can't remember when they kind of made their run to close it out. But the point is that you're there, like you're in the game. So something was going right to keep you in the game, right? If it was a complete disaster from start to finish, you would have gotten blown out every game, which speaks to a couple things. Number one, this is not a team without talent. We've been saying that all year long and all offseason. And I think that's still true. But number two, like, you're good enough to stay in the game, but in the fourth quarter, then what? Is it play? Is it we're going to blame play calling for that?
Well, I saw issues from every phase of the game in the fourth quarter this year. That's the question to me, is what makes you a fourth quarter team? Like teams that, like last year, they performed so well in the fourth quarter overall.
Yes.
I mean, like how many games did they either win in the fourth quarter last year or they took charge in the fourth quarter? You know what I mean?
I mean, a lot of games, quite frankly, they had a nice lead in the fourth quarter because they were good enough to do that. And if we go back and look at it, like there were a couple of games where they just boat raced the opponent. Obviously, Oklahoma is one, but there's several on that list. This year was a little bit odd in how many games literally would come down to a drive or two in the fourth quarter. That I don't think that was the overwhelming story last year. I think last year they were just better than a lot of opponents.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And
I mean, the Clemson game is the obvious exception to that, but like there are a lot of games that the fourth quarter, Carolina was already in a pretty good position. This year it was like, okay, it's anybody's game fourth quarter. And the plays needed to be made were not made.
Right.
That's, I mean, for me, that's kind of like an overriding story of, there's several of them, but that's one of the overriding stories of the season. You were good enough to be in games late. You didn't. You didn't come through that. Hey, Travis, I'm not on the payroll, buddy. Play calling obviously has been an issue. So if you want to try and call me out, be my guest. But clearly it's not just play calling when you turn it over in the fourth quarter. Like, play calling doesn't force you to throw picks and fumble the ball. That's not all it. So, no, I'm not on the payroll, Chief, but keep trying.
Yeah, well, again, right. Play calling was atrocious for the large majority of the season. But you had two receivers drop the football this weekend that were fumbles. And Harbor and I guess Jacobs, right, was the second one. I know Harbor dropped one, and then Jacobs dropped the other, right? That's not a play call issue. They just fumbled the football. And then you had two interceptions, and the one that was thrown into the corner, the students' corner, I guess that would be the northwest corner of the end zone, was I think Nick Harbor probably could have done more there, but it was a terrible throw. It just wasn't good.
What
I mean? The interception that was thrown.
No, I know, but it was a terrible throw.
It was a terrible throw, and could Harbor have done more? Yeah, he could have. But yeah, I was talking to a quarterback yesterday who was like, "Well, you don't throw that ball there. You throw that ball."
You and me both. I've been talking to one all year. It's a combination. It's play calling, but it's absolutely performance too. And Lenoris is not absolved of that. He's just not.
No.
Well, I mean, for some, it's just like it's all on the play calling. It's not all. I mean, if you're in the game in the fourth quarter, you've got a chance to make plays.
Right.
And like, and you look at the teams at the top of the SEC, and some of their quarterbacks simply made plays. Like, would you want Diego Pavia like on your side in the fourth quarter of a close game?
Right.
Would you want Gunnar Stockton on your side in the fourth quarter of a close game? There are guys that look, the cat from Alabama, Ty Simpson, once again makes fourth quarter just as he did at Georgia. The Auburn game on the line, threads the freaking needle on a throw. That's not play calling. That's just a guy who's making plays in the clutch. Connor Shaw did it for almost his entire career.
Well, I mean, and equally too. I mean, just to spread the blame around, and when things were late in games this year, think about Oklahoma, think about LSU, think about this weekend against Clemson, think about Texas A&M, Mike. There were so many big time matchups where Carolina was in a critical spot. Like, hey, we need to drive down the field and we need to score here, right? We need to drive down the field. We need to score. And when the flags went up for the defense to say, all right, let's go get them, it didn't matter how many they were rushing, 3, 4, 5. Half the time they weren't sending 6 and 7 guys. They were just sending 3 or 4. They were blowing the doors off of everybody up front for South Carolina. Couldn't block anybody, And so, like, when I look at all this, I intertwine all of it. I'm not going to be able to break down like percentage wise, if you had that, the graph, the circle graph, you said, well, this percentage is on this and this, because it was all different every game. Sure. But I mean, I saw a quarterback who was severely regressed, and I put blame on an offensive coordinator and a quarterback's coach, and I put blame on a quarterback for that, and I put blame on an offensive line for that.
100%. That's what you and I've said for the better part of 3 months.
Yeah, I think
changing that stance now.
I'm not, hell no. Like I put blame on wide receivers for that, for running backs missing holes. A lot of that goes back to scheme, but at the same time, like you just dropped the ball. The ball hit you in the helmet. I mean, like, it might have not been the greatest play call on planet Earth, but the ball hit you in the head. You didn't catch it. You know what I mean? So, like, all of it to me intertwines, and you could go game to game and place more blame on this group versus that group. But at the end of the day, it gave you the 4-8 record on the offensive side. On the defensive side, by the way, they're not absolved of any of this either. I thought overall this year, they actually played pretty well. They gave you chances to win.
I would go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the difference between good and great, right?
Yeah.
Like, all things can be true at the same time. You could have a defense that's good, but wasn't elite.
No.
Right? I mean, when you're up 30-3 at the half against Texas A&M, an elite defense doesn't give up 28 points. Now, the offense, as we know, didn't help any, which, again, is the bigger point. The offense... It was just bad all year. And honestly, it wasn't great last year. If you look at the passing attack last year was 11th in the SEC. There are 16 teams. They were 8th overall on offense. It didn't light it up. I mean, so at some point when this OC is hired, it'll be a guy that everybody will celebrate when the hire is made. But at some point, you're going to need players to perform better as well. It's a combination of the two. And we've seen now for the last month, like it's in spots, it's gotten better. And then in spots, it's like 14 against Clemson, one of which comes on a ball that's basically like plucked out of the air by Jacobs. Like, that's not a great deal. They had 11 pass breakups. The middle linebacker is sitting there and like just batting balls like a game of ping pong.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing, is the two scores were, once again, we gave this stat last week about how many of their scores were just huge chunks, big plays, like not sustained drives, like you saw a lot of that in the Coastal game. But in these bigger games against better opponents, it's great to be able to have big strikes. You have to be able to strike. I get that. But that can't be the only way that you score. Like, you got to be able to sustain drives and get down the field. And South Carolina just couldn't do that throughout the season. I mean, you go back to the first time really that they scored a point. You go back to the Virginia Tech game and you think about the Harbor play, right? I mean, like, that was that was very indicative of what was to come this year. We're going to have to strike big in order to be able to score. And let me throw this at you too, and we'll go to a break. Chew on this during the break for a second here.
Chew.
Carolina finished 4-8. Tennessee finished 8-4. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gamecocks would gladly take an 8-4 record, 4-4 in the league right now. Who would you rather have, Tennessee's defense or South Carolina's defense?
Carolina's
easily
this year.
Tennessee's defense this year was doo-doo. I mean,
Not
it was last in the league. It was horrible,
Mm-hmm.
right? Tennessee won 8 games because they could score. Now, they did have a little bit of a easier path to this thing as to what Carolina had to go through. But the difference was that they could score. They gave up a lot of points, but they could also outscore you. And you know what?
Right.
The record finished about probably where you think it would. If you can't stop anybody on defense, but you can score a bunch of points, you're probably going to win more than you lose.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to be an elite college football type of playoff type of year. Now, if you're a pretty good defense, like South Carolina, hey, we're going to give you a chance to win, but you can't score, you're probably going to be right around where you are. And that's where the Gamecocks are.
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. And again, it goes back to why all of these teams right now, with the exception of maybe Arkansas, because Arkansas did score points and Taylor Green at times is a good quarterback, but Florida, LSU, Auburn, Kentucky, desperately looking for offense.
Mm-hmm.
Desperately. And now Ole Miss, post-Lane, desperately looking for an OC that can sustain the offense that they've enjoyed over the last few years. And of course, we've already talked about Carolina. There is a major market right now to find offense and to find coaches that can bring you that offensive glory. Josh Heupel's done a great job at Tennessee. If nothing else, they've had great offense.
Speaking of great offense, Jimmy Sexton's pretty good at that. I've never seen this before, but we got a little bit of news on Lane Kiffin, so we'll get to that when we return. You thought the Lane Kiffin news was done? Nah, never. No,
ain't ending anytime soon. They're still flipping them off over there in Oxford.
We're just getting started.
Priceless video of watching old Lane. I guess that bar owner I ran into in Oxford did not have the inside scoop after all.
Well, some of them do.
I mean, after the third bourbon, I almost started to believe he had the true gossip on what Lane Kiffin was going to do. Speaking of bourbon, you can get some bourbon, you can get some beer, you can get some wings. Good day to get all of the above, right? Go to D's, West Columbia, 415 Meeting Street. Billy and his incredible staff over there. It's not just the wings, although Monday means what? 75-cent wings, 4 to close. Ribs, oyster buckets, a number of great things on the menu. Daily specials, luncheon for dinner. No party is too big, and you can always call for pickup. And guess what? A live human being will answer the phone. Think about that. D's Wings, a staple in Columbia for such a long time. They just get better with age. 415 Meeting Street in West Columbia. Say hello to Billy and the gang at D's.
It is 11:41. It is December. Welcome to the holiday season. The morning show will be right back.
Food tastes better without the shells. Get the shell out of here. Visit GameDayNuts.net and change your boiled peanut experience forever.
Gamecock Traditions ships to your doorstep, and we're here to help make your gift-giving experience easier and affordable. Shop the widest selection of Gamecock apparel and gift ideas at Gamecock Traditions. Youth, women's, and men's apparel fully in stock. Jewelry, kitchenware, tailgate gear, and so much more. Shop and ship today. Happy holidays from Gamecock Traditions.
Introducing this year's Carolina Jackpot $5 scratch-off ticket, featuring a chance to win up to $200,000. You can even enter your tickets into the Second Chance promotion. Step on the court for a chance to win $50, $75, or $100,000. This Palmetto series, let's show who really runs this state.
Are your wood floors dirty, scratched, worn, or unsightly? Refinish your hardwood floors with Recoat Revolution before the guests arrive this holiday season. Our one-day dustless wood floor refinishing process is simple, effective, and affordable. Give us a call in South Carolina 803-397-1365 or visit us at recoatrevolution.com. Go Gamecocks and happy holidays.
Why choose Game Day nuts?
They're so easy to eat.
Don't have to throw the shells away.
Easy for travel. It's like grab and go.
Delicious.
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 They are delicious.
Never miss a touchdown fumbling with your nuts. Visit GameDayNuts.net. Boiled peanuts. No shells.
Fans, listen up. The official Chief Sports apparel store is extended until December 3rd on the Chief Sports app. Quality gear, including Nike apparel, shipping within 2 days of ordering. Men, women, and children can choose from a variety of Chief Sports products this holiday season. Order now in the Chief Sports app. Available until December 3rd. Palm Casual Patio Furniture are proud supporters of our Gamecocks. We have been making and supplying the highest quality outdoor furniture you can find for almost 5 decades. If you use your outdoor space to watch the Gamecocks, make it the best it can be. Visit palmcasual.com or visit one of our 4 locations in South Carolina. Go Gamecocks!
At JT's Kia, we have a lot to be thankful for.
We're especially thankful for the customers we get to know and serve.
We have additional inventory we have to move, and that means savings we haven't been able to offer in over 3 years.
Get a new Kia Sportage reduced $5,000.
New Kia Sorrentos, new Kia Carnivals reduced $7,000. Get 0% for 72 months.
We're serious about saving you money.
And we're seriously thankful for our customers.
Happy Thanksgiving, JT's Kia.
Season of New Tradition sales event.
Remarkable, 5-star, sensational. These are just some of the terms used to describe nationally renowned chef William Turner out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Originally from Georgetown, South Carolina, and a diehard Gamecocks fan, Chef Will made his way out west and has served parties from every state and many countries from across the globe. Visit chefwilliamturner.com to inquire about private events and more. Food from every culture, all of it first class. chefwilliamturner.com and Chef Will Turner on socials. You won't believe what you see. You really won't believe how it tastes.
Home fitness has evolved. With Matrix, now there's no limit to the ways you can chase your goals. It's time to make your next workout whatever you want it to be. You can use all of your subscriptions or none at all. Take on exclusive HIT programs or move through immersive HD destination footage while you sweat.
Visit charlestonfitnessequipment.com.
Bells will be ringing. This sad, sad news. Oh, what a Christmas to have the blues. My baby's gone. I have no friend. Christmas, if not for Christmas, by New Year's night.
All right, 11:47. Welcome back to Inside the Gamecocks, the morning show built by the Barn Co. and presented by the South Carolina Education Lottery. And remember to put those $5 scratch-offs in the stockings this year. $5 Carolina jackpot. Those are great stocking stuffers. So if you do that, you got a bunch of stuff that can happen. No pun intended. One, you can win a bunch of money. Two, you could win a little bit of money. Three, you could win no money, but you're still helping students receive scholarships to the University of South Carolina. See scheducationlottery.com/education-win. So Lane might not be coaching Ole Miss, but he's still pulling for him because LSU, thanks to Jimmy Sexton, has agreed to pay Coach Kiffin all of his Ole Miss postseason bonuses. So Kiffin can make up to $1 million if Ole Miss wins the national championship. Ole Miss wins the title. Lane gets a ring. Lane gets paid while he's in Baton Rouge.
Not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal. They didn't want to pay Brian Kelly. They are paying Brian Kelly, but they didn't want to pay Brian Kelly. But you know what? If Ole Miss can pull this thing off, we'll give Lane an extra $1 million. Why the heck not?
The Jimmy Sexton cartel.
You know, it's really, honestly, it's all, I just think this is all pretty sad, to be quite frank. I mean, the calendar is coming up and everybody's talking about the calendar. And let's remember too, like the reason that the calendar got moved up in the first place is because that's what the coaches wanted. Remember, they're the ones that voted to move all this stuff up so they could get kids into school sooner and get them through, that first semester, get them through spring practice and the whole 9 yards. But now, there's no guardrails against coaches just up and leaving in the middle of the season. I mean, could you ever imagine watching the NFL? And by the way, I think these two products should be totally different. Like, I don't think that college football has to do everything the NFL does, but unfortunately that's where it's moving. So if they're going to move that way, then you might want to put some protections in. But could you imagine in January, Mike, we all cut on Fox or CBS or whatever to watch the Lions and the Rams play in the first round of the NFL playoffs, and Sean McVay has decided that he has taken the job with the Falcons, and he's just not there to coach the team. And you got a couple of guys on that team who've decided, well, I think I'm going to sit it out because I'm going to take more money somewhere in the offseason. Now, you have contracts. That would never happen in the NFL. It can't. So I think that all needs to be fixed. But let me ask you a question off of that. Do you think there's a chance that one more coach could be replaced for one reason or another in the SEC this offseason, or would need to be replaced?
Head coach?
Yeah.
You're obviously driving at somebody here.
Well, not necessarily. Like, we know the guys. Shane's not going anywhere. Kirby's not going anywhere. Elko's not going anywhere. I don't think Brent Venables is going anywhere. Lee has re-signed. Drinkwitz is good. But Sarkisian in the NFL. Josh Heupel has been now linked to a couple of jobs, including at Penn State.
That's a crazy one.
Yeah, I don't think that fits, Josh. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, you just never know.
Yeah.
And and your antenna is up if you're a big time college coach. Now, do you want to? At the same time, you kind of want to ride it out and hope that you kind of do get fired, because then you get a buyout and everybody, or at least you're happy. Everybody else didn't. But if that's not something that you want on your resume, and you're fine financially, which they all should be, is you're looking around going, man, all these guys getting fired. What if I go 6-6 next year? Maybe I should take the strike while the iron's hot.
Well, maybe it's just because I was just in Austin. Sark looks like a guy who's loving life.
Okay.
NFL coaches are hired to be fired. I realize college football is starting to mirror that, but he is making a boatload of money. They have a top 5 recruiting class every year. In all likelihood, he has Arch Manning coming back for another year. They made the 2 playoffs and the Final Four the previous 2 years, and if they don't make it this year, they're a borderline case. The people that I talk to in Austin love them some Sark. I don't know why. And Texas can match whatever. It used to be college football has money, but NFL just has much more, and they can get whoever they want based on financials. Not anymore.
Well, I think you make more in college, don't you? Or just
Well, you
as much?
can. Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be like the Dan Snyder, Steve Spurrier deal comes to mind. I mean, Dan basically was going to trump whatever Florida or any other college was going to offer back in 2001. That's changed. The money in college football is dramatically greater with all the TV money being what it is now. And especially if you're Texas or a Texas school with oil money and everything else, not everybody's got a Cody Campbell, but they've got other people. I don't see that. The Penn State thing is interesting because nobody's talking about it in SEC country because we're all still like waiting to make sense out of what the hell just happened with all of these moves. I mean, yesterday was one of the most insane days and nights in SEC coaching football history. I don't know anything that even comes close. It's unbelievable.
Well,
So
it's like
now
they-
that
they're all
dust is
talking to
settled.
each other.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I
What
mean,
is-
it was like that.
It was bang. Well, they were all the lane domino. Everybody was waiting on that thing to fall, and after that, then it was Summerall,
Yeah.
and after that, it was a run on mostly offensive guys like a Golish. I mean, Golish all of a sudden became, and who knows? Like years from now, Golish might be the best of them all. Yeah, I mean, we don't know. We don't know. I mean, there's. Maybe if Will Stein is the guy at Kentucky, maybe he finds an offense in Lexington that hasn't been there minus 1 year under Will Levis and Wandale Robinson. This was just insane what was going on, and it really trumped rivalry week. And you got a bunch of games. Carolina, I don't know. I mean, the crowd was good, right? I know some people left early, but the crowd overall at Williams-Brice was good.
I mean, the
yeah.
crowd was there, but
They
it
were there.
was.
Well, you got to give them a lot to cheer about. I mean, I get it. It wasn't the most raucous environment, and you are going through a 4-win season. But I mean, same thing at Florida State, Auburn, Alabama. Like the crowds are there, but the bigger story in those games was, well, who's our coach going to be?
Yeah,
and I some people truly thought Shane could get fired. I think they were pinning their hopes on, well, a new athletic director. He's going to show who's boss. I don't think there was ever a chance Jeremiah Donati was going to fire Shane Beamer.
Well, especially not after he gave him the extension in January.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that too. Yeah. There's the extension, and then there's like, I mean, I don't think any of us thought in our most pessimistic of scenarios that this was going to be a 4-8 year. But even still,
no,
I never considered Shane on the chopping block because I just didn't see Jeremiah Donati doing that in 2025. Now, what you're going to read in 2026, he's going to be on every Vegas board for the hot
100%.
seat, right?
And he'll probably be near the top.
He'll be near the top. I mean, that's just, you got Feinbaum taking shots at him, and you got obviously local and regional media taking their fair share, and the fans are getting restless. I mean, they just are. This was a season, when you talk about the expectations, this was a season that will go down as one of the most disappointing.
Clearly, he would have been, now knowing the results of the season, I mean, it would have been a lot easier. Again, I'm not trying to make light of this. I'm not happy about it. Nobody's happy about it. But if you post a 4-8 record, it would be a lot easier to do it in yesterday's version of college football. Golly, look at everything that we lost. We got to replace all that stuff, and we'll see what happens. people give you a bounce back year or two to get back where you need to be. But we're not in yesterday's college football. They came into the year with extremely high expectations and guys at the top of Heisman lists and all kinds of crazy stuff that was going on, right, Mike? And so when you have all that and you don't, they didn't fall short of it. They fell on their face, flat, period, the end. Back in September, I mean, people knew this ain't good. And it is just literally sent, cohesively, these Gamecock support from fans to whoever, pretty damn near the ledge, if not off of it for some of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Obviously, I mean, looking at other offensive coordinator names that are out there, not necessarily for Carolina. I don't know. I mean, Shane's not going to call the hotline and say, guys, this is who my top 3 are, right? So there are reports there, and the same 2 names have circulated on a number of sources. But, Cade Bell, Buster Faulkner, Neil Brown. There's a few other names. There's a lot of OC jobs that are open right now. So you're going to hear names like these and more, and to fill all these jobs.
And I would, and it could be any of those guys. I whatever is floating around out there, the names, like whether they're names you like or names you don't like or whatever, at this, I would take all of it very, very, very lightly. I don't want to say with a grain of salt. I don't want to say that necessarily because that makes it sound like it's just all not true. Because that's not what I'm saying at all. I think there's truth in all of it. But I mean, the folks that I know who would absolutely have at least a tiny bit of insight, if not substantial insight, as to what's kind of going on with this thing, like who's he talking to, whether it's stuff we can repeat or not. They know nothing. I mean, this is as tight to the vest as I can remember it being for Shane Beamer making a hire, and he's had some pretty tight to the vest hires here.
Right.
This is tighter than that. I mean,
nor should he. I mean, why would you? You're not doing yourself any favors by sharing that information.
Yeah.
And you're going up against a lot of premier programs that need to make an OC hire.
Right.
I mean, I just mentioned the SEC list. Obviously, there's other schools not in the SEC that are also looking for offensive coordinators.
Right.
And every one of them that's hired, Jamie, there'll be a press release that highlights all the good things they've done and will make them sound like the next Chip Kelly or whoever.
Could be Chip Kelly.
But here's the thing, some of them are going to pop and some of them are going to fall flat and be looking for another job in a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, and also too, a lot of times when this, I mean, everywhere you go, there's an agent. A lot of times the stuff that gets put out there is from them. It's not from inside the program. You might have a guy or two or, a handful of guys who are, willing to chat about something here or there inside of any program, South Carolina, Florida, LSU, wherever it is. But as you well know, a lot of the stuff that gets floated publicly is agent stuff because they're trying to do the work for their guys in the public forum. Let's get them the best job we can get them. So-and-so might be headed to Florida. Better turn the heat up on these guys if they really want them.
Mm-hmm.
None of that's going on either. I mean, not that I know of. I mean, I know there's some stuff out there, but it's just you can't corroborate it. There's no second and third source on any of it, so there's nothing to do.
I had somebody tell me today that Georgia's looking to replace Mike Bobo, and I'm like, no, because Mike takes more heat. If you follow Georgia football at all, you don't have to be on a message board to know whenever Georgia doesn't score a ton of points, they rip Mike Bobo to shreds. Did it his first time around.
Yeah.
I don't think Kirby is moving away from Mike Bobo anytime soon, but there's all kinds of smoke signals and bad info and agendas and everything else out there on the OC front. So it's really hard This is where I'm glad I'm not in that business, to have to like try and track that down and what's real and what's not real. You know, what is like, if you're John Whittle or somebody like that, I mean, hats off to you, man, because that's a tough job, because there's a lot of people in your ear. There's a lot of good information and a lot of bad information. And it's really hard to know what is what.
I think John's sleeping in today, and I don't blame him.
I wouldn't blame him. I would not blame him.
We didn't even get to that today. We'll get to it tomorrow. The fact that with everything that was going on in the SEC this year, we're going to breathe new life into this SEC championship game. Nope.
Isn't that great? Unreal. The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's Georgia, Alabama yet again.
Yeah, it's Georgia. Oh, hey, you know what? This is the year, man. We're going to maybe get Miami and Florida State in the ACC. Hey, what's Duke's overall record? 7-5? What bowl game are they in? Well, they could be in the playoffs. Wait, what?
Or the ACC had a chance of being shut out.
Who? Yeah, if Duke wins, they got a better chance of being shut out.
That's what I'm saying.
But I don't know who tweeted this yesterday. He was like, man, whoever thought it was a good idea to make a super conference with no divisions, bravo. You had to go to the 5th tiebreaker to get Duke into the ACC title game. Well done. Outstanding.
There's a reporter, and I can't remember her name, a national reporter saying, just ignore the tiebreakers and put Miami in. Well,
I saw that too.
Wait, what? What? Just change the rules so you can get Miami in? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
There's enough lawsuits. We really want to do another one?
What is that? Is that the solution? Just change the rules so you could get Miami in? Okay. Sure. I'm sure Jim Phillips is right now, he's talking to his lieutenants and saying, how do we change the tiebreaker rule on December the 1st so we could get Miami in here?
Oh, my God. I mean, that would be a disaster. Like, you can't do that.
No.
I do think that they need to go back to divisions, but apparently those weren't fair enough. So,
yeah, that didn't work out either.
You know, whatever.
ACC just needs to get better, period. Is JC coming on? Is there a show today? Oh, late word, no show?
It was very late word. His flight got canceled.
Oh, well, that sucks.
JC, I guess, had to rent a car and was driving.
Oh, gosh. Back to Chicago?
Sure, you'll get the greatest version you've ever had of JC tomorrow after
he's riding in a great mood.
Riding with John Candy and the whatever the band's name was in Home Alone.
Yeah, Ray Charles, right, when he's playing.
Yeah. Polka.
Oh, you're going Uncle Buck.
No, in Home Alone.
Oh, I'm
when
going Planes, Trains when he's annoying the hell out of Steve Martin and playing the Ray Charles song.
I'm sorry, did you say you were from Chicago? Sheboygan. Yeah, we sold 623 copies of that album.
Del Griffith, Shower Curtain Salesman.
Phil, where the hell are you? Phil's not going to work today. Can't even say hello.
I was ready to get out. Everybody's ready to get out.
I'm holding my thoughts for tomorrow.
That's okay.
That's all right. But good to see everybody. I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. We had a fabulous weekend, even though it ended on a down note. Good to see everybody and get away from the house without the kids, which was nice.
We had the world's worst waiter on Friday night.
Yeah, not the best service.
He was the worst. No, like if you think you've had the worst waiter, you haven't. We had it.
Oh, you guys had dinner together.
Yeah. Worst waiter I've ever.
Friday night. This is in Columbia, I take it?
Yeah, I don't want to say where it was because I've never had an issue there.
But it took so long to get anything, which didn't make any sense for all the empty tables there.
All right, just give me this much. In the Vista?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could guess, but I won't. We don't need to go there.
The worst waiter ever. And then he told me I was wrong. I was like, well, look, man.
So I've
what's funny is after you left, I had to send my check back again.
Just like we did?
Like, well, yeah, I was like, no, this is not right. This is supposed to be this, and this. And then he was like, well, now there's one drink for, left over for somebody who's not here. I was like, well, are they here? Well, no, he's not here. I'm like, well, I don't know what you're gonna do.
We paid for ours, and I drank it, even though it was wrong. I was trying to be nice
what
to
you're
him.
gonna do, but
We're
you're not
talking
gonna
high end
on
here,
my
or
bill.
or is this like an Applebee's?
This is not. It's not a major chain.
Okay.
I think they do have multiple locations.
That's the sound of people saying, "Please tell me what it is." But we won't do that.
Well, you'll know if you go eat there. You get this.
Yeah, right.
I'm not going to go now. I'm going to find out off the air who it is, and then I'm going to avoid it like the plague.
It is the first time I've ever had bad service there. I will say.
Never had bad service. No, it's bad.
So I'm watching Landman last night. I'm caught up. First 3 episodes. You guys caught up?
No.
Yes.
I'm not. So
we're caught up.
Spoilers.
No spoilers, but still a great show.
Mm-hmm.
Phil, you remind me a little bit, and I don't know the character's name. The guy who's like the accountant that's living in the house.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Tolerating all these people
Yeah.
and like,
Oh, yeah.
why do I... That, I could see Phil playing that role and like, how did I get myself into this?
What's going on? Yeah.
What is going on?
He's an attorney to give him a little credit. No offense to all the great accountants out there, because I sure
Attorney, okay.
Yeah, he is.
One
yeah.
way or the other.
Yeah, that's right. He
One
drops
way or the
in
other.
too with real prescient information and things of that nature too.
Well,
It's like, listen, you don't need to, this person is not your friend, or you need to do this and this.
I saw that coming, by the way, with what's going on right now, Mike.
You did?
Yeah, with the sun and I saw that coming. I was like, I know this is going.
I did not. I'm glad I haven't seen any of it coming. It's all just like fresh to me. The show is so good. I mean, it's the acting. Billy Bob Thornton he's just the best. He's unreal.
He's so
everything
funny.
he's in. He's so good.
I know.
Yeah. And I'm such a fan of dry humor, and he's just all over it in this show.
All over it.
Mm-hmm.
All over it. And like you feel his pain with everything. With the relationships, with work, everything. Every day is just a damn grind.
You need to sell this company. Let me tell you why. I'm just laughing.
Oh, man.
I feel like I've had these conversations before.
Well, we'll have a JT's Kia drive around the SEC tomorrow, and there will be plenty to digest.
Yeah, let's see what happens between now and then.
Maybe by then there's another opening.
Saban's and Lexington and
Saban wants to get back.
Where's Chip Kelly end up? He's a guy who's not being talked about a bunch. We know he can call plays at the college level. We saw him do it last year.
Yeah.
Now, they had elite talent. I got it. But
did you see how quickly the Raiders? I think he made just millions and millions of dollars for a few weeks' work.
Yeah, he was the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL. Didn't make it the whole season. He hardly made halfway through the season.
He just took that big fat check out of Vegas and said, "I'm out. See you, boys."
Well, you know who got Chip Kelly fired? Stuart Lake. He flies all the way to Vegas to watch his Browns beat up on the Raiders 24-10. That's the Stuart Lake effect.
It was.
That is
Stuart Lake. Yeah, we're gonna have to.
That is the
tell
Stuart Lake
Stu
effect.
He ruined that man's family.
The Stuart Lake effect. Put it on his tab.
Put it on his tab.
If put that waiter on Friday night, he would have had a difficult time figuring out whose tab that is.
So what did the tip look like?
Not good. And I'm an overachiever when it comes to tips, by the way.
Yeah.
I am a
if you just show an effort, I'm
100%.
all about all about giving you a nice healthy tip. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a good tipper. Like, I'm a very good tipper. I am not the what's 15 per No. I'm like, we're rounding up double that. I mean, just I like to tip because I enjoy
respect the people working hard.
100%.
I don't care what you're doing.
100%.
Do not care what you're doing. Tip them well. Be respectful. Somebody's working a drive-through to get you food at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Don't take that for granted.
Yeah.
They're not making a lot of money. If they show the least bit of pride, man, pay it forward.
Yeah, ma'am, sir, please, and thank you. 100%.
100%. That's the way I was raised. Like you give them the same respect you would give a manager of a high class whatever.
Yeah. This guy was not even respectful.
This guy was just bad on top of bad. I need the full story. I'm calling you after the show. Which I'm assuming is over soon.
Yeah.
I'm getting the lowdown.
Whenever we want it to be, apparently.
Yeah,
All right. Well, thanks to Pat for joining us today. Preston will be here tomorrow. We'll drive around. The Gamecock Graffiti line is open, 803-250-1297. Good or bad. If you got something to say it, and we'll get you on the air.
Keep it pithy.
Yeah. Tell us who you want for the offensive coordinator, John. Anything. Just give us a call. I'm lonely. I listen to them at night.
Give me somebody while I'm waiting. Give me somebody.
Keep Phil company at night. When he puts his head on the pillow, he just sits there and listens to the graffiti line.
And there was nobody called this weekend, which is good that I was out of town and had other things to do for the evenings. But yeah, I mean, come on. I know y'all got thoughts on this Clemson game.
Some people, I think, have run out of stuff to say. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. But
there's only so much that can be said now. It's all a waiting game now. It's wait and see on everything. I mean,
yeah. Well, it's a waiting game, and then it's a post-mortem. Take a look at it, put it under the microscope, try and figure it out.
Yeah.
How does it get better?
Yeah.
Besides crushing the portal.
They have to do that.
Did Rowe not play a snap?
I'm sorry?
Rowe, the wide receiver. Did he? I didn't see him on the field. Did I miss that?
I know he didn't log any stats, but I'm not sure if he wasn't even out there. I can't confirm. Hold on. I know who.
I don't think he had a catch though.
I don't even know.
Played. I'm pretty sure he played.
Okay.
I know he played. He played.
I know he wasn't targeted. I didn't see a throw to him. I'm just wondering, was he on the field?
According to John, he was not.
Not on the field at all.
Not on the field at all for
I didn't see him.
Not for a single snap.
That's surprising.
Of all 61 snaps.
I know Jaden and Van Drevius and Nick had 30 targets between the three of them.
Yeah.
And I guess 18 catches, right? 7, 6, and 5. Yeah, so 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that'll be a big question too. Is that the freshman class, which was so good, receiving now? How do they, in year 2, some of which didn't see the field, some of which did? How do they blossom?
Yeah. I mean, I think besides Lex Cyrus, Lex, Clark, and Gidron all preserved a red shirt. Everybody else, they burnt theirs.
So was it 3-3 then?
Yeah, because Murph, Sellers, and Rowe.
Yeah, 3 played, 3 didn't. Or 3 played, 3 got the red shirt.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. Just curious. One little minor detail of the game.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, glad to see everybody. Happy holiday season. Happy holliday season.
Happy holiday season.
That's right. It's on to Christmas now.
No doubt, man. I got some.
Still a great time of year.
Yeah. Hannah and I were out Christmas shopping yesterday. It was a blessing to be with my little girl, letting her pick her own gifts for her sister and her mom. That was pretty cool.
There you go.
So we'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. We look forward to seeing all of you then. For Mike and Phil, I'm JB. Have a marvelous Monday. See you on Tuesday here on the morning show.